Hey y'all, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed last week's recipe with the pimento cheese recipe in honor of Masters Week, Masters Weekend, which by the way, if you guys caught the Sunday round, my heart breaks for Bryson, but I'm so happy for Rory. I'm so happy for him. Totally deserved it. So that being said, it was not real healthy last week. We kind of deviated from the traditional kind of healthy fun recipes, but I think we all can agree, who doesn't love fried chicken? I love fried chicken, but as we all know, it's not really the healthiest. So we're gonna do kind of a take on that, but with pretzels. So instead of using breadcrumbs or, flour and everything else that's fattening about fried chicken typically, we're gonna do the complete opposite of that. So it's still kind of giving that super crispy, crunchy fried chicken type vibe, but honestly way better, I promise. So this is what we're working with. Okay, it looks like there's a lot here, but it's really just seasonings, and I'm going to give you a couple shortcuts if you don't want to necessarily pull all these ingredients out. So we're going to start first with about 1 chicken breast. I cut them into just little strips, kind of strips / nuggets. It's really whatever you like, whatever is most convenient for you. And then we've got some pretzels here. I get the organic pretzels because, more often than not, people just don't like digest folic acid well. It's a completely man-made chemical. So if you do get organic pretzels, they don't have that. So huge if like you're one to swell a whole lot just with like various foods and stuff, kind of sensitive. I am delicate, so I get those. And then some Parmesan cheese. We're going to use just a very, very little bit of that. So if you don't have it, it probably won't break this recipe, honestly. But we have that here. Now to dredge the chicken in like a binder, really, before we dip it in the breadcrumbs, because we're going to mix these together. Not breadcrumbs. So you have it, but pretzels. We are going to just mix an egg with some balsamic vinegar. That'll be kind of the mix before we dunk it in this. Now, this is where you can shortcut. We're gonna do our own version of a honey mustard, which is literally just honey and then some Dijon or some Grey Poupon mustard here. And then I'm gonna put these spices in with it. If you're like, that's super unnecessary, I have no desire to make my own sauce, use whatever sauce you do like. This, I think, just turns out way better. It complements the chicken so well because we're gonna use a few of these spices in with the pretzel crumb mixture as well. So super good. If you don't want to do that step, you totally don't have to, but that's really all there is to it. So first things first, let's get going with the chicken. Okay, so nothing special here. I just scrambled the egg. So again, it's just 1 egg and then some balsamic vinegar. I would say probably a tablespoon. I kind of just eyeball it. Of course, the recipe is always in the video description notes, as y'all know. Just mix that up, put that there. Now I'm not gonna crush the pretzels by stepping on them today. That seems to be my strategy, but I went fishing for the little food hammer. I think it's a meat tenderizer, but food hammer is just, we're calling it what it is, you guys. So smash these up just into fine pieces. If you have a food processor, you probably could do that too, but whatever is easier for y'all. All right, and you guys don't want this completely like a powder form. You want some chunks still kind of in there. Just very, very few. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that, but you get the idea. And also, I did probably like a cup. I would say just a big handful of pretzels. So that's all you need here. Quite simply, all we're gonna do, dump these on a plate. If you end up needing more pretzels, then just easily crush up more pretzels. Now, I said I did about a cup of pretzels before I crushed them up. I don't know what this is now, but whatever. So I would say if you do a cup, then do about a 1/4 cup of the Parmesan cheese. So again, just a little amount. It's not gonna make or break this if you don't have the Parmesan. And then onion powder. I honestly don't typically measure this. I just do equal parts of all of the seasonings. So it's garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, and that's it. That is it. So we just got this here. I'm not putting any kind of salt in this, by the way, because the balsamic vinegar is already pretty salty, and that's what's in our egg. So like I said, we're going to dredge the chicken and the egg here in a second. This is messy, guys. It's fried chicken. You don't completely get away from the messiness, but we don't have to fry it, though, because we're going to bake this. So minor detail there. Did not say that we're going to, whoops, that we're going to bake it, but we are. So before we dredge the chicken and like all the things, then I'm just making such a mess. What's new? So this is just a sheet pan here. I'm going to lightly spray just a little. One time I didn't spray the bottom of it and it kind of stuck. So definitely spray a light layer of olive oil. This is avocado oil. I had to think about that. But just a little bit there. And then once we get it on here, we're going to dredge just a light layer of oil on top so it bakes and gets super crispy. But like I said, here's our egg mixture. If you guys have made fried chicken before, think about your strategy. I'm just going to throw all these in here. Think about your strategy because you need like a wet hand and a dry hand, or else this is just like mass chaos. It's super messy. So I probably got like 6 pieces out of this. I think this chicken breast was on steroids. Heck, I think most of them are anymore nowadays, so there ain't no telling. Just like that, just a light layer. If you guys do want a super thick like breading, I don't know why you would. I think that's nasty, but you can do that. Just run it through again by just redipping the chicken in the egg stuff. And then back in the crumbs. But I think it's super unnecessary. This is like a really light but crisp coating, just what we're doing right here. So that's what I like to do. But let me go ahead, knock out doing the rest of these real quick. Then we'll drizzle the olive oil on it, pop them in the oven, and get going on the sauce. All right, so we've got our chicken little tender strips here. Now this little layer of olive oil that we're gonna do, just a super light layer. We're not trying to douse it in oil, but just a little layer like that. I love this thing. You can like use it as a spray gun basically and like a little drizzler. Perfect. Now, if you think that these are getting a little dry in the oven, because sometimes they will, like on the sides, we'll check on them about midway through. The oven's at 425. We're just going to bake them, obviously, till they're done or crispy to our liking. I like getting mine a little more toasty than most. So totally up to you, your preference. But I'm going to go ahead, pop these in the oven for probably, I think last time it took like 20 minutes. But like I said, check about after 10 minutes. If they need scooted around or maybe a little bit more oil dumped on them, then that's when you can do that. But I'm going to do that now so we can make our sauce. All right, now time for the sauce. I made this up on the fly last time. I was like, what the hell? If it sucks, then I'll just throw it away. And it actually turned out so good. My mom is like a huge dipper. This whole recipe is like right up her alley. I'm shocked she hasn't turned into a pretzel yet because she loves pretzels. So there's pretzels and then dips or sauces, condiments of any kind. Sign her up. So I had her try this. Stamp of approval. It's so good. So probably a 4th cup. Honestly, I probably did a 3rd cup of the Dijon and a tablespoon, roughly plus, of the honey there. Again, you don't have to do this part, but it is super good because we're using a lot of the same spices that we used for the little chicken base. Again, I don't really measure this typically, but I'm going to do the exact same type of thing I just did with the chicken. So a 1/2 teaspoon of, I'd say of all of the seasonings. Now, do you guys see my little cayenne pepper friend there? You guys know I have an unhealthy relationship with like jalapenos, cilantro, and cayenne pepper. Like I just put those things with everything because I love spice here. So if you don't like spice, quite simply just leave it out. Totally fine. I'm gonna do, I don't even know what that was, 4 teaspoon? I don't know. There's a lot of seasonings in here, by the way, for having put it with Dijon, an already thick kind of mustard, and then honey. So you might have to add a little water to this. I did the first time or two that I made it. This doesn't look bad. As far as consistency, I am using a little bit of a different honey. I've noticed the darker honey sometimes are thicker, so maybe that's why. But if you guys are like, my sauce does not look like this, if you're like, it is way too thick, totally fine. Just throw some water in there, stir it up, and it's good as new. This might honestly even get thicker when I put it in the microwave because I warmed it up, so it was like a sweet heat type of sauce with the chicken. And that was so, so good. Definitely recommend doing that. But I suppose you could have this cold if you wanted to. So that's our sauce. Really nothing crazy to it. We're not using anything different than what we already used with our chicken. It's just these two elements plus these. So if you want to do this, highly recommend. If not, not a big deal. So that took all of like 30 seconds. So we have some time to kill before the chicken's done. So cheers. Okay, they are done. They are atomically hot. So we're gonna let those chill out for a hot minute. But I did not have to put any more oil on those. So as you guys saw, just with this little like drizzler thingy-majig, I got this on Amazon, by the way. Just do a super light layer over the top. I about lost that. That almost flew off the counter. Thank God. So, like I said, those are super hot. We're going to let those chill a second. This lettuce here, I just picked it up at the store because I was like, you know, this might look pretty because there's no really like pretty way to present nuggets or tenders, whatever. So, if you're doing this as like an appetizer for a party, I think that'd actually be super cute if you kind of just made like a little lettuce base. Whatever little sauce actually gets on the lettuce that we made here, that might actually be fantastic. So I recommend it. We're just going to do a little lettuce base there. This sauce, like I said, the consistency was great, but I did warm it up and it got thick. So I ended up putting just a little bit of water in there. So if that happens to you guys, like I said, ain't no thing, not a big deal. But I'm gonna put this in a little serving container because presentation matters. So, got that there. These are still super hot. I don't care, they look so good. I'm just gonna throw them on the tray. I think these actually turned out better than I made them last time, so that's exciting. And this made a ton. I think 9? I didn't even make all of the chicken. That's why I'm like, I know how to count, you guys. Numbers are not my thing, but I do know how to count. So honestly, once you get these off of here, like, look how good. This is better than fried chicken. And it's, like I said, with pretzels, so much better. I'm just gonna assemble these on here, make it look pretty, and then we will be ready to try them out. Okay, this is my new favorite party appetizer. This can be both a meal, gourmet lunch, or a party appetizer because this is so cute. I love putting it on like the bed of lettuce, but I'm about to dive into these. The fam smells them, so they're kind of corralling to the kitchen. But definitely recommend doing these. You guys will not miss fried chicken once you make this. I'm not a big pretzel fan, but the saltiness from the pretzel and then the balsamic vinegar and the egg yolk, egg mixture thing that we made, so good. If you guys want to make that sauce or on the edge, on the fence, whatever, just try it. Trust me, you won't regret it. Super good. I hope you guys enjoy this one, but I will see you guys next week.